Imagine for a moment that your mind is like a busy highway at peak hours, cars honking at each other, drivers weaving in and out. Every single lane is overflowing with vehicles, everyone rushing towards the exit. Sounds familiar, right? This chaos, this confusion, this stress. We all have at some point of time faced this in our life. Complete clutter. We each and every day we take so much of information, may it be from social media, from presentations, meetings, conversations, books. So it's all out there. So many ideas, so many thoughts, but then everything is unorganized, just like that busy highway. And what if I told you that there is a way to turn that chaos into absolute clarity, where each and every thoughts flow in a very calm manner, in a very organized manner, and every idea has its own path? Sounds impossible, right? But in the next few minutes, we will explore how it is possible with visual thinking. In the next 10 minutes, we will explore together how visual thinking and particularly mind mapping can transform your mental clutter into clarity. Research from the University of California suggests that 65% of the people are visual learners, and our brain processes images 60,000 times faster. Yes, let me repeat that. Our brain processes information 60,000 times faster. Yes, you heard me right. Our brain does not think in terms of bullets, paragraphs, sentences. Instead, it thinks in terms of images and associations. Now, if I tell you to imagine an apple, I'm sure you would not be thinking about the spelling of an apple, or you would not be thinking in the terms of bullets and sentences. Instead, the moment I say apple, you would be visualizing the image of an apple, maybe green apple, maybe red apple, or maybe the brand apple. But you will be basically thinking about an image and not the sentence or paragraph. Yes, our brain thinks in terms of images, associations, and it thinks creatively. Yet, most of us, since our school days, we are very much used to linear way of thinking, where we think in terms of point number 1, point number 2, point number 3. But that's not how your brain works. I remember this was somewhere in 2019. I felt like I was running on a treadmill, running but not reaching anywhere. I was completely burnt out. I was completely deep into clutter. I could not decide what I wanted to do. There were too many ideas. I wanted to do freelancing. I wanted to, start a coaching business, but I was also in a very comfortable job. So my mind was full of clutter. And then, of course, I had been already using mind mapping for so many other use cases. I thought, why not use it for this critical decision of my life? And I started mapping out my thoughts, what I wanted from life, what were my strengths, what is that I really love doing. And of course, I had to look into the financial part. I had to look into, so many other things. And it was not a typical, pros and cons kind of, linear way of thinking. It was a beautiful mind map where I could visualize everything right in front of my eyes. There were the details, there was this bird's eye view. So everything was clear in front of me. And in just a matter of 3 to 4 days, I got my answer through that mind map. And not just me, I have seen people firsthand turning a blank page into a 400 pages of book, with the power of mind mapping. I have seen people struggling to find out ideas, to find out their niche, and just with mind mapping, the clarity emerged. I have seen so many of my students who were initially struggling to, organize their thoughts or retain whatever they have read, and now they say that it's with mind map, it's so easy. There's this another lady in a top firm who is a project manager, and she was handling teams across various time zones, and her life was anything but easy. Every morning she started with a lot of mental clutter, and it went on and on until one day she reached out to me, and we started working together towards it. And we started making mind maps for each of her tasks. We started scheduling her days. We started scheduling her big projects and breaking them down and seeing it all in form of mind map. And slowly, when clarity emerged, her days started to just flow like that. Now she no more needs those to-do lists or traditional notes or meeting agendas. It's all there in the map, visualization right in front of her. And it's not just the story of that project manager Shally whom I'm speaking about, or not just the person who turned a blank page into a book in just 12 weeks with the power of mind mapping, or not myself who have been using mind mapping for more than 13 years now. It's not just about us. Our stories are not unique because top companies like Google and Boeing and many others have integrated mind mapping and visual thinking into their core problem solving processes. Why? Because they know when their teams see the problems in the form of not just reports and pages but in the form of mind maps, the solutions will emerge way faster than in the traditional case. And now I invite you to close your eyes for a moment and think about one task that you have been delaying or procrastinating for a long time, and it's really nagging you and you want to get rid of it actually. Think about that task. Now take a blank piece of paper, draw a circle at the center of the paper and write that task at the center. And now think about all the ideas that have been always there in your mind. Now it could be any task. Maybe you are wanting to write a book and you have so many ideas, like hundreds of ideas, but the ideas are all there inside. Unless you write it down and visualize, nothing is going to come true. So just start mapping out and see the way your brain starts thinking, and a lot of ideas will come up. And now once you map it out in a piece of paper, what will happen is you will start linking, okay, this is associated to this. So your brain will naturally try to form the associations that even you didn't know existed. Yes, that's the power of mind mapping. People who use mind mapping have reported sharper focus, greater productivity, and they seem to have a lot of creative ideas. And it's not something magical. It's a tool that anyone can use it in their daily life. Whether you are preparing for an upcoming event, or you want to schedule your month, or you want to map out your long-term vision, you want to start a new coaching business, you want to start any business for that matter, you are a busy professional who want to integrate into your workflow, you want to solve complex problems, no matter whatever it is. But the moment you start visualizing, seeing it, your brain tends to work faster and you get to the solution faster. So today I invite you to try mind mapping, and who knows, you might be just one mind map away from the next breakthrough. Yes, let's turn your mental clutter into clarity using this transformative tool called mind mapping. Thank you.